Hello guys, and welcome to the 6th episode of my weekly video game pickups. This week I have a lot of 16-bit stuff and also a bit of 8-bit stuff and a little bit of 32-bit stuff. So I'm really pleased because 16-bit is just my favorite period in gaming history. First up, I had another Facebook deal, 3 American SNES cartridges, Porky Pig's Haunted Holiday, the Animaniacs, and Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Sadly, the one I wanted the most doesn't work. I already cleaned the contacts out and looked to the cartridge inside, but I still can't get it to work. I will eventually though. These two are not two great games, but I personally think the Animaniacs is not as bad as Joe and what's the other guy's name again? I can't remember. From GameSack, Dave. He really hated this game, but I actually kind of like it. It's fun. And then I had to go to Brussels to do an exam, and there I went to my favorite game shop after the exam. My exam was actually really good, so that's great. And I picked up a game I've been looking for the longest time. Super Valleys 4. This game was never released in Europe, so I'm glad I got the American cartridge. I also got Kindo's Rage, which you can see here running in the background. I didn't know this game, so I googled it at the store and it looked really awesome, so I also picked that one up. Oh, by the way, these 3 SNES games I paid 20 euros including shipping, and these games were kinda expensive, so this was 14 euro a piece. It's kind of expensive, but I did a great exam, so I decided to pick them up. Also at the same store I picked up 2 of these, and it was only 2 euros a pop. It's for storing your GameCube games, and I can see you wondering why just not store them in their original boxes. Well, that's because most of my games are Japanese copies, and they come in these really annoying boxes. So if you have to take it out of this box all the time, it's not really fun. I already had one other wallet like this, but as you can see it's really full and there's some loose discs in there, so now I'm glad I got 3 so I can store them all. I forgot to show you guys one game, Axe Battler. I also bought this in the store in Brussels. It's an RPG based on the Golden Axe character. It's actually the second action adventure game based on Golden Axe. You also have Golden Axe Warrior on the Master System. This one is a bit more like Link, Zelda 2. And the bad thing about this one, it doesn't save. It has a password system. So an adventure RPG type of game with passwords, that's not really my thing. But still, it's pretty fun. If you can find it for cheap, I only paid 3 euros, buy it. Then I went to my favorite game shop. I actually had 2 games that didn't work. The Mega CD in excess and also Pirates Legend of the Black Cat. He cleaned both discs. This sadly still doesn't work. This sadly still doesn't work. This works, but it's not really a great game. But I'm a fan of the INXS band, so that's why I wanted to get this disc working. Also at the same store, I picked up a Super Scope. Sadly the viewer is missing. It also came with an American cartridge, so that's pretty great. Now I can play the Super Scope games in 60 Hz. And also my very first American dust cover. Yay! The receiver was also included, but as you can see, it's a bit yellowed from being stored probably on the TV for a very long time. I also picked up the Bugs Bunny Blowout. A pretty fun platform game, nothing too special, but still fun. Somebody drew a kind of a little penis on the box. So in total, the Super Scope, Blowout, repairing those 2 discs, it was 30 euros. I also had a trade with somebody online from a very long time ago actually. and I traded my copy of Fighter's Destiny on the N64 for the CDI game Kingdom: The Far Reaches. This game actually has a special meaning to me. I already wanted this game as a kid a lot, and then my parents finally bought it for me, but we didn't have the digital video cartridge in our CDI player, so I actually couldn't play this game. I was pretty devastated, and then my mother returned the game to the store and I got another really bad game, Laser Lords. So since childhood I've been wanting to play this one, now I get it. Then the next Saturday I had to pick up a Commodore 64 for 20 euros. I'll show you it running in a bit. It's in the other room. And I passed the flea market while going there. I promised myself I wouldn't attend any flea market this week because I already spent way too much money on the Super Nintendo games, but also on some stuff that is still coming that you'll see in next week's episode. But I passed a little flea market. It was really small, but I still found some games. For the PlayStation 1, Medieval, and then Medieval 2, and Ridge Racer Revolution. He asked 2 euros a piece for each game. I said, would you do these 3 for 5? And he said yes. So I got them. It's actually really strange. The medieval games, they're super common, at least when I was younger, they were super common in the stores. And now they go for a pretty high price. I don't know why, I never played them, so I'll check them out now. Apparently they're pretty good fun. So I quickly want to show you guys the Commodore 64 I got. It comes with a floppy drive and the original model Commodore 64. The previous owner spray painted it black, and he did I think a pretty good job on it. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm also pretty pleased that the floppy drive is still working. I just loaded this game from the I already died. Just loaded this game from disk. I got a lot of bootleg discs with it, as you can see. Sadly they don't contain many classics, so I still have to find a way to put games on discs, the good games, so I can play them. You also have cartridge games like this. You have Robocop 2, for example. These games I all bought previously at recycle shops or online. There are not many cartridge based games here in Europe. Most of them come on disc or on tape, like this one. But to load a game from tape, it takes a hell of a long time. So it's best to have it on disc or on cartridge. But there are not a lot of games available on cartridge. Only the very early games like these, or the very late games like this one from Ocean, when Commodore released the Commodore 64 game system, which was a console based on the Commodore 64 in I think 1990 or 1991. I think 1990. So here you see Robocop 2 running from the cartridge. It's actually a pretty hard game. Robocop is very slippery. This is one of the later releases, as you can see by the graphic. The Commodore 64 cannot output RGB, but it has built-in composite and also S-Video. Currently this is running in S-Video, composite, but I could also hook it up. But this TV doesn't have an S-Video input. I bought a brand new cable, which was almost the same price as the Commodore 64 disk drive and all the games. So yeah, but it's working pretty good. I bought it at Retro Computing Shack on eBay. Right, I'll now show you guys another cartridge. This one is called the Final Cartridge 3 and is actually a complete operating system. It's handy for the people who are a bit scared of the basic interface. So you can load from the floppy disk and you can take a game and load up that game. Hopefully this one doesn't take too long. Okay, and that didn't work. So you can also check the disk by pressing the F7 button, and then if you press F3, no sorry, F5, it loads the first game, otherwise you have to type the name after it, and then you have to press the run button. Voila! So as you can see, this is a much older game. What is annoying about the Commodore 64 also is that sometimes it uses controller port number 1 for games and sometimes controller port number 2. So the best thing is to actually have 2 controllers attached at all times. Okay, well, that's it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and be sure to check out next week's episode because I will have a huge haul because I bought way too much stuff online. Bye.